Alrighty, then it's time for another Olaf game, and the timing on this one is impeccable. This one, because he's starting to see some competitive play in a lot of roles, and hell, just to what's his name, elimination is starting to pick him a support, which is funny. And in this specific game, I felt my Olaf pick was perfect. Now look, they first picked Gragas, my teammate picked Galio and Caitlyn, two champions that are not really the highest damage in their fields. Then the enemy picks Orianna and Riven. Then my teammate picks Alistair, so I'm thinking to myself, unless my top lane teammate picks someone with damage, we might be lacking damage. I figured I could pick someone with CC or someone with tankiness or something to bolster our composition, but I need someone who's like a middle way. I was thinking of Jin Zhao, but Gragas and Orianna make a joke of Xin Zhao, so I moved away from that. I thought, they have a lot of CC, I could go immune to them and deal damage as Olaf, so I picked them. Fortunately for me, they picked Shen as a support. And that's just 4 champions that I'll be able to walk right through. And then my teammate picked Vladimir, which is honestly a pretty good pick because you'll amplify the damage we have, and we have to, but it sort of forces us to win in a sort of combo situation. Dump everything at the same time and kill them before his debuff wears off. Anyways, I go to gank Riven, and I was waiting for her to do her jumpy shit because she was being very aggro to Vladimir. And fortunately for me, she burns her flash, and she underestimates the amount of damage I can do, so she gets chunked down. Gragas comes in, I flash away from his body slam, I take a little bit of damage, and then I chunk both of them a little bit more. So the Riven is basically out of commission, and they keep fighting the Vladimir in a place they shouldn't, because I'm still nearby and I can still do pretty good damage, and trying to exchange blows with me and Vladimir would pretty much result in death. So what I did has pretty much resulted in the Riven no longer being able to go all in. Vladimir has an almost 50% health lead against her, so he'll just whittle her down when he's got the chance, and she can't really go all in or go crazy without getting destroyed. Gragas shows up, but Vladimir already managed to kill the Riven, and Vladimir outplays the Gragas. After he had body slammed, he just teleports back home, or teleports to the safety of a tower, then teleports back home. So we're off to a pretty good start. The Riven underestimated the damage as I can deal as Olaf, and that gives me some hope that I'll be able to use my enemy's ignorance against him. Now here, I figure since top lane Vladimir is safe right now and Riven can't help him because she got beat down, that Gragas' best choice for ganking would be bottom lane. So that's why I took the Scuttle Crab, though you should be taking the Scuttle Crab, and used my ward for Tribush. So as a result, I predicted correctly that Gragas was coming down, and I thought my teammates would back away. They didn't, so I made my way down bottom as quickly as I could, and I managed to hit 2 people with my Q. That's good. Now they're slow, they get chunked a bit down. We give chase, I hit 2 more people, and the Caitlyn responds so well alongside my chase that we were able to pick off a Shen. That was a really good turnabout. Even better that the Galio is anticipating this kill. Look at his Q. This is a beautiful Q. He predicts where Ezreal blinks, knocks his ass out, and we also are able to kill the Gragas. So I didn't get credit for the Ezreal, but I did get credit for the Gragas, and that's a good boost for us. So right now, up to 0-4. And it's wonderful. It gives you hope. So I decided I'm going to go tanky, because if my Galio has a good lead, if my Caitlyn has shown that she'll be able to at least have some mechanics as an AD carry, then I can go tanky and peel or deal damage or whatever. Because while I was playing this game, I was actually exhausted due to a lot of things I did in the day. And actually, watch this. This is a huge fuck up for me. The Riven fucks up because she knows I'm here, yet she goes all in. So she burned her mobility. So she's forced to use her flash immediately. I go right after her, and she actually escapes because I undershoot my Q. If I had just shot it just a little bit farther, it would have killed her, and it would have been a huge swing. Well, we're already in a huge swing, but it would have been like a deadlock for top lane. That was a huge fuck up on my part. I mean, I still forced her back, and it didn't cost me any real resources outside of my ultimate, which is coming off cooldown anyways, so it's still meh. Here I do fuck up too, and it's the smite. I use my smite just trying to snipe the Scuttle Crab from the Gragas, but it leaves it with just a little bit of health. Fortunately, though, we do chase him down, and he ends up hitting a trap despite all he tries to do, and he pretty much resigns himself to death. So it's 0-5. But as you can see by the length of the video, it's not a stomp. Just keep watching. And I forgot to mention my runes and masteries. Runes and masteries are 9-21-0. Obviously going to the defensive tree with amplified resistances and the amplified healing, as well as my runes are attack damage red, attack damage greens, cooldown reduction blues, and armor yellows. By the way, 2v1, it doesn't matter. It's a support and a gimped out jungler right now. So I go crazy. I miss my Q, and that's actually pretty embarrassing. Like, I think I pressed space when I did that and I fucked it up, but still no excuse to miss a pretty easy Q on two people. I get super greedy too because I really wanted to kill the Shen. If I hadn't missed that Q, he might have been dead by then. And I try to hit him. I figure I guess this was kind of a bait, or at least he responded to it well, because I ended up getting killed for that. So that's bad on me. Bad Stonewall. So... either way, it's still going good. The team fights where you can figure is we're going to need to have a Gallia ultimate holding them down, or an Alistair Q followed by a Vladimir ultimate, and hopefully we kill one or two of their important characters that will provide the damage. If Riven can die at the start of every fight, or we can prevent any lockdown on our Caitlyn, we will win every fight guaranteed. That's what I at least think. The enemy team would also not be able to pin me down, so I'll at least be able to bum rush one of their carries or somebody important and keep them off my teammates, or at least gather the aggro. And by the way, that was kind of sad. The Caitlyn shouldn't have used her ultimate within, where close to all the other melees. But either way, they can't get close enough or whatever. Alistair's headbutts are fucking on point all game. Keep watching that guy. This Alistair is pretty boss. Just watch him in one of the team fights. It's like he initiates and he bodyguards and he traps people. It's actually pretty wonderful. Now, as a result of that, we got one kill, we got ourselves the Scuttle Crab, and we got ourselves a Dragon. And quite the big swing. Now, anyways, Olaf, he's picking up steam again, mostly because a lot of tanky champions have been nerfed. And you would suppose that, tanky champions being nerfed is not a good thing for Olaf, since he sort of counters them. But the idea is right now you're sort of going to, pick teams. Grab one person, murder them, and deal as much damage as possible. And Olaf is pretty interesting in that he himself can't probably be picked off. He himself can CC lock people and allow you to chase or accurately shoot things. I don't know. I was watching the TSM game where Dyrus was playing Olaf, and it was pretty awesome seeing him in the front line attracting aggro, but there was nothing they could do to stop him, and he managed to pretty much hit someone with Q and give him the hug of death, and with repeated slows. So that's what I figure is he's being used as. And of course, in a team composition like this, or in solo queue games that you see me play Olaf, I play him as this sort of unCCable threat that will pick off somebody on the enemy team and will require the enemy team to focus me with their damage abilities, or else lose their delicious AD carry or whatever. Though in most cases, in this game actually, I keep getting killed. I keep getting greedy. Like, I'm gonna die soon, and I'm telling you this now because you can watch that I have my flash up, and I hold on to it so long because I am very greedy. I want to hold on for it just so I can do some initiation by flash Q or some other crap. Here, the fight breaks out. I actually get crap over the Orianna ultimate, and I just ult myself out. I survive. Like, if I could have avoided a lot of damage if I had just flashed immediately or something, but I'm getting very greedy. I don't really participate too much in this fight, except I guess one Q that had been thrown early on. So the rest of my teammates managed to clean up the enemy team. It goes 3-0, and that's a huge boon for my team. We can push for the tower. They can't force us off. Well, they can by Riven teleporting, but she just kind of can't do anything there. They also burned Shen's ultimate, so that was a huge waste of the enemy team. They burned too much resources and achieved nothing out of that. So right now we have got a lot of tempo. We go right after the Riven. She's got no chance of escaping. I hit her. I let Caitlyn kill her because Caitlyn getting the gold is better. We go for the Shen. So Alistair tries to go in, but I don't think he actually manages to get anybody in a good position because the Shen is sort of in a safe position. Caitlyn gets killed. Right now here's where I have still flash. If I just flash, I would have survived, but no, I allow myself to take a lot of punishment from the Gragas and the Orianna just because I don't want to burn the flash. That's really petty of me and really dumb. And here's the Galio actually managed to kill the Gragas, but this is what sucks about Galio is like he's got a lot of his damage on his ultimate, which is a really strong ultimate, although it has a shitload of weaknesses. And then his E and Q are not, well, his E is, but not his Q, some of the more dodgeable spells, right? So, and they don't really have that oomph to kill a lot of things. So, in a lot of situations, you've already seen the enemy survive with just a little sliver of health against the Galio, and he's been a star player this game, but that's just kind of an unavoidable thing about Galio. I'm surprised that he picked Galio. It was just Gragas who had been chosen thus far, so he must be really comfortable with Galio. And I mean, I don't care what anybody picks as long as they don't directly counter themselves. So, we tag Galio. I mean, we tag Gragas. Nothing really comes of it. We chase him after he burns his ultimate. We go for the tower again, and kind of the same situation here. They keep focusing me. I mean, the Shen taunts at me, deals some damage to me, but it's like nothing really comes out of that. We chunked them even more than they've chunked me. The Alistar's kind of on point on that. And then we just... his ultimate, he says he fat-fingered his ultimate trying to use his E for us, so that's really unfortunate. If he had his ultimate, more plays could be had here. Now he's just kind of sort of forced to tank the tower with full health. I mean, with... from full health to 0. So that was a huge fuck up from everybody. Me once again being stingy as hell with my summoner spells and kind of underestimating the amount of willingness they had to murder me, and the Alistar screwing up his ultimate. That really, really sucked. Still though, we still have the lead, and you can see that the enemy team keeps wanting to surrender. It's true. My team just has a much, much stronger late game, although the Caitlyn really isn't the strongest late game and we don't have any external steroids to give her. But it's just the amount of stuff they can do is very limited, and apparently the enemy team really, really hated the Riven, so they keep asking for the surrender. Vladimir, though, he just kind of doesn't stick with the team, so he's going to be pushing mid lane, and you can watch in the mini-map, and actually it will change the camera right now, where he's pushing down mid, and the enemy team is collapsing on him. So they burn 2 ultimates to murder him, and we figure, oh, we might be able to push, but we're not really in any position to do so because we don't have minion superiority right now. So we just decide to bail. But watch this. This is like jerk-tastically beautiful. Now, the Galio misses the spells, but the Gragas gets too angsty and fucks up his ultimate badly. Alistar divides the enemy team, and we just turn on them. I pop my Righteous Glory, and which is go gung-ho. I turn around to protect the Caitlyn from the Gragas and the Shen, putting myself in between them, and you saw Gragas uses E on me, and then Galio just explodes the enemy team. And then we just pretty much grind down the survivors. Boom, just E on the Shen, E on the Riven, and she gets dropped. I flash forward, trying to tag the Orianna. I do manage to tag her in the last bit here, just for the extra damage. Galio kind of gets a little too hasty here, and ends up giving a free kill to Orianna. I mean, it's not exactly free, but she wouldn't have gotten any kill right there. She would have just died, sad and lonely. So, I mean, it was a really nice fight for us, although 2 deaths were probably kind of given as charity to the enemy team. So it's nice. Either way, like I've said before, I do recommend you learn to play Olaf because he's kind of a huge middle finger to team compositions that feel like they've got the Wombo combo, they've got the control or whatever. But no, Alistar and myself can't get CC'd. Well, Alistar can, but he's got an immunity. Vladimir has a troll pool and shit like that. So we've got a lot of outplay potential against their team composition. So it's kind of really nice. Unfortunately, us going for Dragon means they get a free Baron. We didn't think about this, and of course, and we should have probably warded. And here, I mean, we killed the Shen, like I said. I've actually built myself as Olaf as a tank buster. Players in my stream were saying, Stonewall build Black Cleaver, build yourself offense and everything. And I thought, you know, I didn't do as amazing as I was hoping for in the early game. I didn't get as many kills. I almost just got assists and shit. So I went for a more cooldown reduction, tanky kind of a tank killer kind of thing. Just spam my E on things and hurt them. That's the build I went for. And it's working out. Like if Shen initiates or if the Gragas comes in, I just stand in between my carries and just keep hitting them with my E, dealing some damage here and there, cooldown reduction and whatever. They can't really focus me or kill me. And of course, just watch this next team fight. If it doesn't give you a fucking boner, I don't know what the fuck gives you boners. Even though they have Baron, they're not utilizing best. Shen's gonna sneak around here for some reason, but he's in no position to taunt anybody successfully. So he ends up just getting chunked for so much free damage. So because of this, because they had already burned a few of their spells to try to harass us, we get very angsty. Look at this Alistair Q, it's fucking beautiful. Hits absolutely everybody. Me and Vladimir go right in there. Vladimir hits them all with his contaminated AIDS blood, and I just go rampaging, hitting whatever. Caitlyn blows everyone the fuck up, and they just get annihilated. It's like that Alistair Q was fucking beautiful. And it happened as a result of the enemy team getting too angsty. I don't even know. They were not in any real advantage. They don't have a team comp designed to siege, so they screwed up some of their spells playing it cute. Got screwed because we knew that some of their spells were down, so we went ahead and initiated on them, and they clustered up for whatever reason, and Alistair was able to pound them so well. It led to a huge Wombo combo from my team composition, and just the enemy team got annihilated. It was pretty much perfect. Now here's the point of no return that they realize. If Riven comes in with her ultimate all badass or whatever, and she can't do any dick of damage to me, I just turn around alongside the Alistair and just start clobbering her. Shen can't do anything. I can't get CC'd. Ezreal's doing his best and trying to, well, do his best. So Riven dies for basically no effort. The enemy team can't do shit. Like, look at that. I can't take any damage at this point. I can just go in and be as dumb as possible. By that little scene right there, Riven dying for free, even though they had the numerical advantage and the surprise advantage, is pretty much the sign the enemy team. The perfect sign for the enemy team that it's over. As you can see, Orianna rage quit. She said she had enough, it's dumb. Riven threw her life away. The enemy team basically gave up. This is a free Baron for us, but they surrendered while we're doing that. So, hooray for Olaf and hooray for this Alistair. Motherfucker was badass. So, Team Wombo combo wins. And yay. I don't know what to say in the end, so I'll just say yay again. To reiterate some of the things I said in the game, I picked Olaf because my team had picked Galio and Kaelin, two champions with lowish sort of damage for their respective roles, and the enemy team had Gragas and Orianna and Riven, two champions that had pretty much some CC in them. I decided to pick Olaf because I needed some form of damage while also being relatively tanky because I didn't know what my other teammates were going to pick. So my choices were something between like Xin Zhao or Olaf and maybe Zac with a more AP-ish build to go along with the Galio. I decided on Olaf because, again, I can't really guarantee if my teammates are going to pick appropriately. Like if I pick Olaf and my top lane teammate picks another physical champion, it might be too easy to itemize against us because Galio isn't exactly the epitome of AP power. So I picked Olaf and the enemy team picked Shen, and it was just kind of a doomed situation for them. They picked a team composition that I could walk all over, and my teammates kind of had a Vladimir and Galio and Alistair, champions who don't really give a crap that you do anything to them, right? So hooray for us. The enemy team kind of counterpicked themselves. I also had to debate about the summoner spell. You know, should I take Ghost or should I take Flash? Ghost is better on Olaf for team fights and generally synergizes better with his entire kit. But I went with Flash because it would help with ganks early because they have a lot of Flash plays, you know, Flash dash to trap me, Flash body slam to do something, or Flash Riven combos or whatever. So I thought maybe I had to use Flash to escape that kind of stuff and avoid damage, and maybe in team fight situations avoid getting sniped before one happens. It's kind of funny that I say that considering I was very greedy with my Flash and didn't burn it and kept getting picked off, but that was the reason why as to I took it. I also got to explain my build a little bit. The one option was to go offensive with the warrior and maybe a Hydra and then build myself tanky or build a Black Cleaver. Those builds do work on Olaf and they work very well. But the thing is, I didn't rack up a lot of farm or gold through murder early on, so I built myself tanky, and I also did that because I saw that my Caitlyn was competent and that my other teammates were on the level at the same as well. So I figured they will be able to make up for the damage that I'm losing by going this tanky build, and I would be able to protect him. I had faith in my teammates, and it was important to do that because my team relied on having the perfect team composition. I mean, team fights. We were a Wombo combo kind of team. If Vladimir and Galio failed their ultimates, we were just going to get wiped out. Fortunately, it didn't go that way, and we won handsomely.